The Hulk can heal from anything, can't he? So what about the end? What's gonna happen to the Hulk at the end of the entire world? This is a what-if kind of a story, telling the story of the Hulk at the end of the world, where the only people that are left are the Hulk and Bruce Banner. Let me know what you guys think of it down below. A man walks through the barren wasteland that was once known as Earth. The skies have turned green, the grounds have turned gray. As the man walks, he thinks of how things are so quiet and how so many times people have taken that for granted. Cars honking in the streets, bacon sizzling on the griddle, children crying, but most importantly, other voices. As the man sits down, staring at the vidbot, telling himself, because of this silence, it's good to speak his own name aloud. The man sulks and he says, Bruce. It goes on to say how the sky glowed green today at sunset. Bruce looks out at the horizon and he says that his name is Bruce Banner. He's over 200 years old, or so he thinks. Right now he's cold, probably dying soon, but he won't let him. He doesn't feel cold or love or anything except anger. The Hulk hates everything, especially puny Bruce. Bruce never leaves him alone. And what else he hates is that stupid floating thing. He could smash it if he could catch it, and also the bugs. The Hulk takes a piece of twisted metal and he slams it down on the bug and he says, I hate bugs, and Banner most of all. The First World War was supposed to be the end of all wars, which the irony in it was that humans had no idea of what was coming next. With World War II, it brought with it the atomic age. When Truman dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was a rather spectacular bluff. Though it would have taken months to make more, the Japanese saw the terrible might at the disposal of their opponents, and they surrendered. It could have been because they weren't ready for the attack, or it could have been because they witnessed something so horrible that they hoped that it would never see the light of day again. Bruce has traveled the entire world, but from one end of the United States to the other, it's all the same. Upwards into Canada, all the way down into Mexico and South America, it is all the same. As Bruce makes his way through Las Vegas, he looks down at his feet, thinking out loud that it's pointless to even wear shoes. His feet had become so hard and calloused that a nail gun couldn't even penetrate the soles of his feet. There's also still trace amounts of radiation in the air, and even now in his human form, his body is just a sponge for it. Any normal human would have died by now from the radiation or starvation, but he won't allow it. He has the ability to ingest virtually anything and turn it into pure energy. Truly a perfect engine for survival. As Bruce looks at his trembling hand, he thinks about how it's been happening a lot lately. It might be Parkinson's or just nerves, but then the rest of his body begins to shake. It isn't his body that's causing it, it's them. Bruce wants to die, but he fights to live out of habit. And he starts to run, trying to get away from what's coming. The rustling of plastic wings clicking fills the air, and as much as he doesn't want to, he looks back. This time, they're not skittering along, those bastards are now flying. A giant black swarm of insects that survived after the bombs fell fills the entire sky, and as they get closer and closer to Bruce, he tries to escape, but with his skinny body, he knows that he can't outrun them, and that's when he trips. A voice inside of his head tells him, get up. But it's not his own, it's the Hulk's voice. When he opens his eyes, he sees himself changing. All he wanted was to just die in peace. Damn him. Damn the Hulk to hell. The Hulk lifts himself back up, stating, the bugs want to hurt Hulk, but Hulk will crush stupid bugs. Nothing can stop Hulk. But with every one that he kills, 100 more rise up to replace them. Soon the swarm begins to be too much for even the Hulk, and they eat and tear away at his flesh. Later, Bruce sits on a rock watching the vidbot during the time that the Hulk was eaten alive. Whether it be that the bugs were full or they just got bored, the only thing that was left of the Hulk was a mostly eaten carcass. Eyes picked out and stomach gone. Skin hardly attached. It's going to take a while for him to recover. He continues to watch the vidbot, and he watches the skin start to re-knit itself onto the skeleton. 11 minutes in, and his eyes have grown back, and just under 18 minutes, he's fully healed and not in a good mood. The Hulk looks up at the vidbot, and he snarls and he leaps at it, but always having the same result of never being able to capture it. Once he lands, he grabs a piece of cactus and he begins to eat, thinking how everything is stupid. Stupid boy Rick is gone. Betty is gone. Her father is gone. Shouting Man is gone. All of them gone. But the Hulk, he's still here. The Hulk had the last laugh. The Hulk is the strongest one that there is. Bruce then continues on his endless journey, and he stops as he arrives at the gates to the Costumed Adventurers Memorial Park. These statues were put up for those who had lost their lives during the Hell on Earth War. However, it wasn't because of some alien invasion or evil forces who wanted to enslave mankind. The cause of this war were the humans' worst enemy, other humans. As the explosions went off, there was some form of grim satisfaction that came to the Hulk. He didn't care that the bombs came from the terrorists. He didn't care that it all started to spiral out of control. He didn't care that millions upon millions of innocent people were dying. He only cared about two things: being the strongest, being alone. The Hulk lived through the bombs bombs, and he didn't care that the radiation was just making him stronger. No, the one thing that did bother him, though, was the cries of the dead and the dying. So he returned to the place of his birth, New Mexico, and he hid away in that gamma cave. It could have been days, months, years, but one day, the rock that the Hulk passed to shut himself in was removed, and as the light shined in, Bruce awoke from his slumber asking who was there. A robot walked in with a device saying that his readings are correct. A human survived. How inconvenient. Bruce asked what is he talking about, and the robot explains that he is the recorder. He has been sent here by a number of races to record the demise of humanity. Bruce pauses for a moment and then he asks, why? Do the other races want to learn from our mistakes? And the recorder tells him, no, they want to make sure that you are all dead. You were kind of a problem. Bruce shouts, this isn't some kind of joke. And the recorder tells him, I know, I wasn't laughing when I said it. Bruce sits back and he asks, so what, you're here to kill me now? The recorder asks, would you like me to? Bruce tells him no, and the recorder says, you will change your mind soon enough. However, it is clear that my presence here is not needed. Therefore, I will leave this vidbot to record on my behalf. As the recorder leaves, that's when Bruce realizes that he was, in fact, alone. And after some time, he did change his mind about living. Soon after Bruce attempted to jump off a cliff, he knew that it was a waste of time because the Hulk would just stop it. And now, with nothing to do, Bruce waits, wishing for the day that he would one day pass on to the next life. As he slept, though, he started to see something, or rather, someone. It was a beautiful woman, the kind that would lead any man into a trap, and she was calling for him. Even with his decrepit state, Bruce walked. He began to feel younger, and the two embraced each other. She whispered into his ear that they would repopulate the world. They would be like Adam and Eve, but better. They would be gods. As lightning strikes down, Bruce snaps out of his dream, seeing that it was all a part of his own imagination. However, the heat from her is still there, like fire. In his chest, he grabs it, and then he realizes that he's understanding. How could he have been so blind? Inside of Bruce's head, the Hulk shouts, asking, what is Beauty Banner trying to do? Why did I ever let Beauty Banner stay? Bruce stumbles to walk outside, and he says that the pain is getting stronger. Perhaps the Hulk's body can go on forever, but his, in fact, cannot. It was like the Greek mythology, Prometheus, the legendary Titan who created mankind from clay. He felt that Zeus, the king of the gods, treated his creation so badly, and to make up for it, he granted humanity fire. Furious over Prometheus' actions, the gods punished mankind by unleashing the evils of Pandora's box. And as for Prometheus, he was chained to a mountain where he would be endlessly devoured by carrion eaters. Whatever was eaten would always grow back and his body would heal. And then the process would begin all over again. The Hulk was spawned in the heart of a nuclear blast, making him the first of the titans of this age. Now, with everyone gone, he is the last as the heir to Prometheus. But Prometheus was eventually shown mercy and freed, and right now, Bruce is getting that same mercy. He walked out of the cave seeing the images of Betty, Rick, Marlo, everyone that he thought he would never see again. And the Hulk shouts that, you see nothing. This is another trick from Beauty Banner. Bruce begs him, please, just come with me. We can go somewhere where there will be peace for the both of us. And the Hulk shouts, Hulk no need friends. Friends only hurt Hulk. Hulk won't let that happen. And with that scream, Bruce was gone. The voice inside of the Hulk's head had finally left, and the Hulk was left to himself. The Hulk is the strongest one that there is. The Hulk is the only one that there is, and he feels cold. And there you have it. The Hulk apparently will sadly be alone until the end of time. Really didn't know what to think about that. It is a sad story, but at least Bruce Banner finally got some kind of peace. What do you think? I asked you at the beginning, but now that you've seen the story, I want to know your opinions of this potential ending for the Hulk. Like I said, it is kind of a what if. It could fit into the timeline. It could not fit into the timeline. You decide. Right here is our Hulk playlist. Over here is something recommended by YouTube. And of course, you can always find me on Twitter at Comicstorian. Thank you and have a good day.